Greetings, hello, welcome on in, guys. Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. I want to talk about the World of Warcraft. Now, we talk about World of Warcraft all the time here, but I want to talk about the actual world of Warcraft, okay? So, as you guys know, we were just graced this week about the Kirin Tor questline and kind of, all the Kirin Tor dealing with the destruction of Dalaran. Now, if this is news to you, spoiler alert, I guess, but it's been out for a long time. And kind of how they're dealing with it, how they're kind of regrouping, and what the future holds for the Kirin Tor. Now, obviously, there'll be zero spoilers here for that campaign, because obviously it's relatively new. But I want to talk about what this quest does, and I wish World of Warcraft did more. Now, again, no spoilers, but in the quest line, which isn't too long, you can probably complete it within an hour, depending on, I guess if you read all the quests or not. Probably around an hour, maybe even less. You could probably speed run it. I'm not a good gauge of time. Again, there's no clocks in here, so I have no idea. It could be 3 in the morning or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. But in the quest line, you end up building a small little camp and populating it a bit. Nothing too crazy. Again, no spoilers after that, right? But it has a fight path in it that you can now access, which is awesome. Also, by the way, I'm still feeling sick, so this is why I sound kind of congested. Don't worry, I sound worse than I feel, though, so I feel good. It's just everything's still here. So you build this little camp, again, no spoilers, and now you have a permanent little section on the map that you have stuff to do. Now, I love that type of stuff. Building a small, okay, it might be small, actively building it. It felt amazing, right? Like when we built our garrisons, which was kind of lame, by the way. Yeah, building the garrison, you clear the logs, but then you plant the flag, and all of a sudden everything's there. I wish there was more build up to it. But again, the garrisons were bad, but the way that you were modifying the world around you was a good decision on Blizzard's part, but their execution of things afterwards were not so good. But I want to talk about World of Warcraft and how the world is very, very much static and not feeling like a living world, right? Now, obviously, they've done a lot of advancements since 2004 with world building, and like we see a lot of conversations with NPCs in Dornalgal talking about different things, even giving us hints of the next content patch, which is awesome. I want to see more of that, and I'm glad that Blizzard's going down that route. But I want Blizzard to go one step further and start modifying the world slowly around us. Everything's so static. Hell, there's even still damage to this day from Cataclysm. And remember, guys, we've lived longer in post-Cataclysm than we did pre-Cataclysm now, right? And that was, like, I think in Legion, right? So, like, for example, the dam in Loch Madan, that's still destroyed, right? No way to fix it. Also, the village in the wetlands for the Alliance, still underwater, still dealing with those problems, still stuck in that moment. Now, obviously, would it be near impossible to keep updating every zone every week, every month, every patch? Yeah, probably. It would probably take a lot of time and effort. But I'm not asking for big updates. I'm asking for small updates. I want the world to breathe around me. The world is so static. Elwyn Forest is still having the same problems it did when I first ventured through it back in 2006. Obviously, I guess not really, because Cataclysm changed the questing, but I think honestly, Cataclysm did change a lot of things, and we saw some world progression there. But I think instead of macro world progression, we need some micro world progression, right? I would love to see micro changes in the world just happening over time. A house being built here, slowly being built there, right? It doesn't require too much change. Again, I want a living and breathing world. Everything feels so static. And I know what I'm asking, right, guys? I know what I'm asking is a tall ask, right? Where I'm asking for more development time, right? And yeah, all of these small matters don't really matter in the sense of monetization for the product, right? But it makes the world feel more lived in. And honestly, I think MMO should start moving towards that. It just makes, I don't know, as someone who's deep into the lore and deep into progression and deep into world building, I really want to see that type of thing. And unfortunately, we're not seeing that, right? For example, the 20th anniversary just ended, right? And obviously the 20th anniversary, you had that giant pavilion, you had tons of stuff. But if you logged on right after the hour-long patch, from the update, it's all gone. Just poof. It never existed. It just felt so barren going back to it. Most of my alts are parked there, and I come back and it's just totally empty. Wouldn't it have been cool? Again, it wouldn't have no change to the mechanics of the game, no implication of the progression. It would have just been cool that over the weeks you slowly started seeing them, pack it up, like a real carnival where they're packing stuff up after the carnival. It would have been cool that, every week you see them like slowly taking stuff out of that area. Again, it doesn't add anything to the progression of the game, but it just adds some world building. It doesn't feel like it just poofed out of thin air, So that's the stuff that I want to see. Just the small world building and not the macro world building. Our world changes every big major patch, but I want to see a change every week. Just a small one. I know I'm asking a lot, but honestly, I think I think I'm not alone in how I feel about that. But this video is already too long, me ranting about this stuff in the closet. But I want to hear your opinion. Do you agree that World of Warcraft needs micro changes to its world design, or do you think the patches do enough? I want to hear it. But Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. I'll see you guys next time.